Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming in. I'm here to do a reading on the new moon partial solar eclipse in Aries. It's going to be a general reading. But before I get into the reading, I want to do an AstroTarology intro because this is quite interesting. This is more than just a new moon partial solar eclipse, although new moon energy is particularly strong. But the synchronicities of how it ties in to a lot that's going on in the collective and a lot that's going on astrologically is just crazy. In fact, I was going to do a reading just on that, but I decided because there is a tie into this new moon involving Pluto and other things. I'll timestamp the collective reading in the description box below if you're not interested in the astrology. And you're going to have to go down this rabbit hole with me, my friends. It's very interesting, but it's just the way the stars speak to me. First of all, I'm going to start off by saying there's been a predominance of energies in my readings, and I've noticed in other readings as well, of kind of, I won't say a deja vu, it's more like a redo energy. And we could say, yeah, well, Venus is in retrograde and Mercury is heading in retrograde, but no, it's much, much bigger than that energetically. And it involves Pluto for sure. Pluto is our collective planet of karma, but it also represents the subconscious, the unknown, the hidden. And it's a very, very slow, deep moving planet. It's Scorpio's ruler. It can even carry with it past life energy for sure. And Pluto spent 16 years in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is about the lessons that we learn. I call it the for your own good planet, Daddy Saturn, because in order to really fully get what you think that you want, you have to become the person that can handle what you think that you want. So in other words, it's preparation energy. I always say with Saturn, it's equal rewards for equal effort. And anybody who has strong Capricorn or has dealt with that in their life knows that. You got to do things the right way, and it's usually the hard way. And that's what Pluto in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, was. For 16 years, it entered in 2008. In 2011, Neptune, Pisces ruling planet, entered Pisces. Coming up in April, it's about to leave. Now, and move into Aries. That becomes important in a minute. Now, Neptune is all about our dreams. It's about our fantasies. It's about tapping into our intuition, that high sense of inner knowing. It's hanged man, high priestess energy. It's the unspoken things. So when we have Pluto moving into Capricorn, Pisces taking over Neptune, it's about being able to do the work it's going to take to physicalize the dreams that you're having. Neptune is a very watery planet. It's hard to put any kind of physicalization behind it. And that was part of the preparation of Pluto being in Capricorn. Okay, this is where we're going to bring Aries and that new moon in. Now, last year in Aries season on April the 8th, there was an incredibly powerful total solar eclipse. On this one coming up on the 29th, partial solar. So already we're tied together, right? Now that total solar eclipse in April 8th of last year, both sides of that eclipse were surrounded by major solar flare action. So the sun throwing magnetic energy at Earth under the energy of Mars and Aries. So when that happened, Pluto made a brief shift in Capricorn into Aquarius. Now Aquarius represents, think about what I said about Pluto, right? Now Aquarius represents what comes next, the next vision, the hope, the purity of your vision. Because once you've done all the hard work of Capricorn and Saturn, now you truly understand. And it comes from that place of having refined through all of the difficult lessons that we have to learn in order to embody our dream, in order to get what we wanted, or to be able to handle it. And the thing is, when it shifted into Aquarius, it was at 1.5 degrees of Aquarius when that solar eclipse occurred. Also at that time, the northern lights went crazy. They could be seen all over the place in places they aren't usually seen. So that's a very magical energy too. Like, I'm just rolling with this, right? I'm putting it together in my mind, so run with me. Okay, so we had Pluto shifting briefly after at that point 15 years in Capricorn into Aquarius, so we get a quick glimpse of what's to come, of what's possible. And then in May of last year, next month after, it moved back into Capricorn and it stayed there for most of the year, which is interesting too, because it was like, nope, there's still more work to do. Remember your dream, remember your vision. Total solar eclipse in Aries, not time to take action yet, but definitely time to get a glimpse of what's possible so that you could then embody what's necessary to embrace it. When Pluto shifted into Aquarius in January, that was kind of the return to what was going on at that point in your life. So think about that. At the same time, I mean, like it's like a dream unfolding, let's say, because this new moon coming up is all about manifesting the new. And it is in Aries, so taking action. Shortly after that, Neptune, as I mentioned, the dream, has been in Pisces, the hanged man, the high priestess, for 14 years. It's about to shift into Aries right after that new moon. So that new wish, that new vision, and the time to take action is also got action taking Mars on the planet of dreams. That's why we had to do the difficult work of Pluto and Capricorn. Now, one more note I'll make, because this is what I've been seeing in the readings a lot. When Pluto entered Capricorn, all the same rules apply back in 2008. Learning the hard lessons for the next 16 years. Whatever was going on at that point in your path, if you can think back, roughly around 2008, of course, it's not exact. The energies are incredibly powerful, especially when we're dealing with Pluto and Saturn. But anyway, 2008, decisions might have been made, or things might have happened in your life, or roads were chosen, or things were intervened upon in order that we learn what we needed to learn and do the necessary work in order to bring that dream into fruition now, 16 years later. That's how Saturn works. That's how Pluto works. It's even slower than Saturn. Saturn right now, by the way, itself is also in Pisces. Going to move into Aries. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so 2008, what happened? Because what I'm seeing in the collective, by and large, in so many different manifestations of this energy, is kind of, it's not a return necessarily to things from that time in your life, like people or jobs or homes or situations, but what you thought that was going to be, what you were trying to achieve at that point. This is the return. And whether that is like a dream you once had that you tried enacting back then and it wasn't time, that could have been. It could have been the wrong person, right dream. Not wrong person, because lessons learned in order to have it, right? So it's never wrong. There's no mistakes. But you see what I'm saying, right? Now that could be the case, and a chance to recreate that. In my readings, I've seen people revisiting careers that maybe for various reasons were sabotaged, or dreams they hoped to act upon that were intervened by, various things, responsibilities, health issues, whatever the case, marriages, all kinds of things. And there's kind of like a redo energy. You get another chance. And what did I say about Saturn? Equal rewards for equal effort. Capricorn, I call it the true gold energy, the kind that's very hard to get to, but when you do, it is absolutely the real thing. And that's why Saturn and going through that process is very important. A lot of people are like, oh gosh, especially when we get into Saturn return and stuff like that. But actually, it's an opportunity for you to lay the groundwork, do the hard work, internal, external, so that you can make that dream true gold. So that redo energy now factors in the last 16 years of what you've learned, what you've been through. And again, we're dealing with Pluto, which moves very slowly. Again, 16 to 20 odd years. Right now, it's really just taking on the Aquarius energy for good for the next 20 years. So with that slow moving energy, it kind of like the tail end of it, I call it the funnel of pain, jokingly, but it makes us feel like, is it ever going to change? I've been going through this same thing. I've been doing the work. Well, it is. And this new moon in Aries, like I said, plays a fundamental role in that. Okay, I'm going to get into the reading now. I hope that wasn't too convoluted. Trying to sometimes, I wanted you guys to be in on the process for some reason of how I see this unfolding, and I couldn't deny the energy. In the cards, we're seeing across the table, many other readers too. We're seeing the Lovers, we're seeing Judgment, we're seeing Death and Rebirth. A lot of major arcana, but major energies of redo another chance. We're also seeing a lot of the Devil, and that is Capricorn, and that is Saturn. Okay, my friends, let's get into the reading. It is a general reading, so anybody, any sign, you won't resonate with what I say exactly because it is a general reading. Take what resonates as it does, if it does. If more people appear in the reading, it can always be vice versa. Okay, let's get into it. I don't even know how I'm going to read this for sure. It's like I said, it's unraveling. Let's go down this road. Let's see what happens. Okay, with the wisdom of the oracle, what do we have? For this crazy new moon in Aries, we have that deep knowing, beautiful. Well, what did I say about Pluto? It's incredibly psychic energy. It's Scorpio energy. So you could sense that something is about to change. But also, this is about tapping into your intuition and trusting that, the deep knowing, not this knowing. That's very important right now. Oh, perhaps part of the lesson that needed to be learned right here. To follow your intuition. All that glitters. We know that saying, all that glitters isn't necessarily gold. So maybe, oh my gosh, I said Capricorn, true gold energy. Interesting. Could have been Pluto in Capricorn for the last 16 years, or even since Aries season, let's say. A big part of it for you could have been that, learning what's real and what's not. Sometimes ideas, thoughts, visions we have can not be that grounded or realistic, right? And that's Capricorn energy. How are you going to make it? All that glitters and that deep knowing. Wow. Okay. Pretty on the nose. All right. I'm just going all over the place. Let's do a Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. What's the overall energy here? Relax the hold of darkness and be it cause. Oh my goodness. Look at this card. Totally surrounded in that vortex of light. Relax the hold of darkness. Pluto energy, Saturn energy. Again, learning how to be at cause and deep knowing. This is about using what you've known, what you've been through, and what you've learned to help in the collective. The lessons of Saturn, Pluto in Capricorn, into Aquarius, which is the collective, the future, what comes next, and our role in it. So this deep knowing that was gained by all that glitters and how to discern. And now this is being at cause, not falling for flash or glitter or things you thought were going to be the thing. We already talked about that. On the bottom of the deck, we have bring it into form. Be at cause. Turn that energy of that deep knowing into something in the collective. Can have to do with what you do for work for some of you. Okay, let's see. That rattles so much. Let's do a little bit of astrology from the Star Codes Astro Oracle. This could be in your chart, in somebody around you, or just overall influencing the situation. Okay. That's too many, but I will take that one. Okay, this one landed right on, oh look, landed right on the cards, and it's Saturn. Saturn is also the god of time. It's one of my favorite planets because of what I said. It's not glittery like Venus can be. flash in the pan energy, all that glitters, right? It is the true gold and the true lessons learned. It's interesting, it fell right on the all that glitters card. So that was the lesson. All that glitters doesn't have to be, well, rarely even is it about material things. It could be, but it could be about anything. It could be about image or beauty or many, many things, right? Ego, Saturn. And then we have Pisces energy. Interesting. Right now, I think we have 6 planets in Pisces, including the North Node, which is our destined path. But remember Neptune, Pisces energy in 2011. Okay. Scorpio, Pluto energy. Scorpio is an energy of investigation. Again, it's about what's hidden, what you can only feel. Very, very deep knowing here. In this deck, they call it the investigator. And then we have the 10th house. This is Capricorn's house. Yeah, career, outside achievements. I see all that glitters. This can have to do with reputation as well, but also about what you are capable of. The 10th house is the house of personal excellence and ambition. And I'm getting that energy a little bit too here. So it could be that you're looking at changing careers at this point, like doing more what you're meant to do or what you're being guided to do. Some of you, those lessons learned. That's where the true wisdom of Saturn comes in and what you're capable of. Personal excellence here. That's pretty cool. Let's see, especially in service to the collective. Libra's on the bottom of the deck, Venus energy. Last year in Libra season, Libra's the opposite sign of Aries. And last year in Libra season, there was a new moon in Libra, right? New moon in Aries this year. That's how it goes. But anyway, Libra is Venus energy. It's about love. It's about what we love, but all that glitters. Definitely that could have been part of the lesson for you. All right, let's go to the good tarot. Okay, what wants to talk already? I'm putting it back because we have the Knight of Cups. For me, a very strong Libra energy. I know it's water, but Libra is cardinal Venus and air at that. So being able to speak the language of love, it's very romantic, it's very charming, and that can be all that glitters, right? I call it my Romeo, my poet of the tarot. And this is somebody with the gift of gab. Maybe the romantic kind of sweepiness of things was what it was for you. Could have been the lesson, but we'll see. Let's go. Oh, what? There's another card in here from a different deck, probably mixed in from another reading, but there are no accidents. Let's take, oh, it came out. It totally came out. It's from the pulp. The 7 of Wands. There's about the lessons learned. The 7 of Wands is fire energy. It is about fighting off all of, look at all those wands of passion coming towards that couple. Interference. Okay, let's go to the recent past. Interesting. We have Aquarius here. Well, we did have it, Pluto shifted in officially in January. But like I said, I feel like the energy is really just starting to take place now. The star is what I was talking about, what comes next. The hope, the purity of vision. It comes after a tower, and often Saturn brings in towers as well for a reason. Because what remains when illusion drops away is the purity of truth. And that's the star card. Also about the collective and what's guiding you. It's deep knowing. Okay. There could have been healing taking place for you. Okay, let me see you now. Now, this is a collective reading. I address it to you in an individual sense because I find it makes the reading less confusing. But as I mentioned, apply it as it does. Oh, beautiful. We have the 3 of Wands, fire energy. Well, we saw that 7 of Wands, right? The 3 of Wands is my wish casting card. It's looking out on the horizon at what you expect to come in for you next. This is the road unfolding. And it does have kind of a positive expectancy to it. You could be looking at something at a distance too. Sometimes the Three of Wands is that for me. On the bottom of the deck, I see the Ace of Wands. Wow. The Ace of Wands is an inspiration, an epiphany, or an idea, but it's definitely passion. Okay. A new beginning. Okay. Let me see what actions you want to take. Oh, okay then. I'm not surprised to see him. We have the King of Wands, fire energy. Look at all the fire starting to come in with Aries, right? The King of Wands is very confident. He believes in the power of his own heart. Because by the time you get to the King of Wands, things like flattery, remember we saw the Knight of Cups? Things like flattery or romantic thinking or language or offers that come in like that aren't going to move him. He's fully in command of his own passion, and he understands now the power of it. Very attractive energy. Okay. Let's see what comes next. But the King of Wands is also, like I said, very confident and a natural leader and creator. And we've got the 10th house being activated here. So I do feel like this is life purpose stuff coming into play for many of you. It could be, look at this. We got the Wheel of Fortune, the come back around card. Here it comes again. Another chance. It's Jupiter energy, and it brings about luck and expansion. But it is a wheel, so it comes back around. Interesting. We have the Five of Swords in the surrounding energy. Now, the Five of Swords can be a self-defeating energy. This can be you telling you stories from the past that are not true, or they're not true anymore. Like using those lessons you've learned against you. Because King of Wands takes a lot of confidence. For others of you, it's going to take a struggle to get to where you want to go. And you're going to have to truly, truly believe that you can do it. We'll see when we clarify. What's the challenge for you? We'll take it, but I'm going to get another one. We have the Two of Swords, Libra energy. The Two of Swords is a crossroads. It's about the need to make a decision when it can't be clearly seen. Swords are about our mind. It can't be understood that way. Maybe it requires following intuition, but it certainly is a crossroads. And maybe okay, well, we'll just keep going. One more on that Two of Swords. Okay, it was very hesitant in the way it came out. Yeah, that's why. Four of Pentacles, very hesitant. Earth energy. The Four of Pentacles is about being afraid to move. And again, King of Wands, because maybe in the past, right, when we talked about Saturn, which is showing up here, you kind of, looking back, you're like, I don't know if I trust myself, or it didn't go right last time I tried this, something like that. Okay, oh no, that was part of that one. Okay. To let go, to open up your heart, to believe in yourself. I believe that's part of the challenge with the Four of Earth and Two of Swords. Potential outcome, please. We have the Five of Wands, more fire energy coming through. Five of Wands is engagement. We have Five of Swords here, and then Five of Wands now. There could be a lot of competition in this situation. If it's 10th house, there very much could be. We'll see. I'm going to need to clarify that one. Five of Wands. We have the Three of Wands here. King of Wands. He happens to be on the bottom of the lights there. Crazy. Okay, I get you. Tell me about the star. That's the vision. Now, again, this could have been a time of rest and recovery. Oh, whoa. The Seven of Swords. There's lots of air coming through. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Seven of Swords is mental strategy. Look at this guy walking around underneath of the moon. He's got plans, but he's operating under the cover of night for a reason. And then we have the star and Saturn, deep knowing. One more. What's the Seven of Swords about? Now, the Seven of Swords can be about trying to, like, being worried about deceiving yourself. Yeah, it could be. Oh my gosh, look, Capricorn with the devil. And talk about all that glitters, because oh, interesting. Okay. Slow down. Get a little excited about astrology. Okay. This devil card, I always call the sexiest devil in all of tarot, because to me, he's fully made up of your own definition of what tempts you. Custom made, right? And we talked about all that glitters. Could be various things for you. Saturn is about the ego as well, and the need to be in control. We have fear, like deciding to let go of control is a challenge. Underneath of the devil, we had death and rebirth, Scorpio's major arcana, coming back around. So these are actually on the bottom, but what came off the top is the Five of Cups. Now that's looking back at your past with sadness and regrets. You're looking at the opportunities, whatever those were. It could have been a relationship, could have been a career. You'd know, right? So whatever that is for you. But the Five of Cups is about sadness and regret and longing. Seven of Swords, and it has something. I'm not sure what that Seven of Swords could be. Okay, can I see the Three of Fire? But maybe this is you, like trying to see with the Star and the Seven of Swords, if you can believe in it again. Okay, Three of Fire. Yeah, oh wow. The Magician, Gemini and Virgo energy. We had a total lunar eclipse in Virgo on the 13th of March. It was the 13th. But anyway, this is about new beginnings and your own magic, your own ability, King of Wands, to create the future you want, Three of Wands. But it requires that you let go of whatever you're regretting from the past. The Star is here now. This is what's guiding you forward, and it's the reason why. We saw Saturn with the devil on the bottom of the deck. This is the reason why. The Magician and the Three of Wands. Okay? Manifesting what comes next for you. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. This particular Two of Pentacles, look at her. She's working with those two balls of chi. And to me, it looks like she's like trying to make things happen, right? Performing some kind of balancing act. It can still be a little bit of hesitation as well. It's interesting because it looks like she has a lasso around the sun on that upper. This can be also about trying to decide whether or not you want to manifest whatever this opportunity is, and we're about to find out. You definitely have your eye on it. Whoa, the King of Fire. Oh, I wonder. Interesting. We have the Two of Cups, beautiful. Venus and Cancer energy. Now, the Two of Cups is very sweet. It's very romantic. It's equal. Look at the way that these cups are hung like scales. Three of Wands is under that. Three of Wands. And I asked what you were trying to manifest. This is a relationship, but one of a very deep soul empathy. It's soulmate energy. Queen of Cups. Cancer energy. Right now we have Mars in Cancer, Aries ruler. But the Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups, that might be who you have your eye on, who you see. Okay. King of Fire. Death and rebirth. Back around. But in a different form. And now we have the King of Wands here. Let me see death. No way. It's the Star. There's the Star. Now in this particular Star card, there's like that cord of energy attached to her heart. and the energy of the stars. The reason why this transformation was necessary for you to become the King of Wands. Wow. Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck. That's a brand new beginning in love. Look at how her hands are cupped around that. It looks very ethereal. It's again, it's like she's holding on to the energy of possibility. This is why. I keep getting that. Okay, let's go to the Five of Swords for a minute. The Four of Wands, fire energy. Three of Wands to the Four of Wands. This is you expecting it, and this is you getting it. So the Four of Wands can be, well, this particular one, look at it. It looks like I always call it a Woodstock card. It looks very fun, very free, very symbiotic. Could be a home. It could be a career, a job. Four of Wands can be. Let me see. Four of Wands. The Three of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. Let me get one more on that Three of Cups, because there seems to be regrets about Seven of Swords in the past. Let me see the Three of Cups. Three of Cups can be a hidden. I rarely read it. Oh, it could be. It really could be. Because look what came out. The Lovers. There could have been multiple people involved in this situation at one point in time. And that's part of the decision. Seven of Swords is about keeping things to yourself. Now we have the Lovers, and I'm not surprised we saw the Two of Cups. The Lovers, I can't keep it off the table right now. Gemini's major. This is a very deep soul connection. And generally speaking, when encounter the Lovers type situations, it could be a career. For many of you, it could. Or it could be a romantic situation, whatever that come back around is for you. But anyway, the Lovers, what was I saying? Oh, it activates a part of your heart that is actually your own two sides. You got to choose between your past or your future, or what you've been doing compared to what you now know is possible. Star. It's not, oh my gosh, what? We have the Devil. The sexy Devil came back out. Capricorn energy. Now, the Devil is number 15 in the major arcana. When we add it together, we get we get 6, right? 1 and 5. That's the Lover's card, number 6. I always say it's in the spirit and in the flesh. Interesting. Okay. But whenever we encounter Lovers type situations, it sends us to a crossroads, and we need to make some kind of choice. I don't know with this Three of Cups if that's somebody. If you got to make a choice between more than one person, could be. For others of you, because it's tied to the Four of Wands, this could be about a career, like a team or working with somebody, something like that. Because it is with the 10th house. They're outside. Anyway, I'll go deeper on that Three of Cups. One more there. No, I don't know about that. This is the Six of Pentacles. I'm not getting that that's necessarily the choice. The Six of Pentacles can be an offer. And it's very practical. Real gold. Okay. It can be some kind of job offer to do with what you do. 10th house. All right, let me see the Four of Earth and the Two of Swords. The Lovers stayed on the bottom of the deck. No, the Knight of Cups. He came out before. This is a different Knight of Cups, but he's still a pretty, like, looking him out there on how he's like all posed on the chair, like he's casually waiting with a bouquet of roses and a picnic blanket. What I've laid out. Let me see. Knight of Cups. go. King and Queen of Pentacles. Wow. The King and Queen of Pentacles are the ultimate power couple to me, especially in this deck. So this can be you wanting to form a partnership with somebody, but I'm hesitant because of that third party and all that glitters. Let me see the Five of Fire in the outcome. The Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. We saw that Two of Cups, right? The Eight of Cups is my emotional pilgrimage card. It's about having the courage to walk away from things that don't reach the Ten of Cups. We talked about that, where it didn't come to what you thought it would in the past. And this, okay, but in any event, we saw the Two of Cups, which would turn that into the 10. This is the decision to go after this Two of Cups that you have your eye on. It is totally. Page of Pentacles is a message with an offer attached to it. The Fool. Aries major arcana. There's that new moon. Strong Aries energy. The leap of faith onto a whole new beginning. What's under the Nine of Wands? And that's the end of a path. That completes a cycle. Let me have one more on the Five of Wands. Could be people who are there could be competition for where you're going. How many was that? 2? Knight of Pentacles and the Tower. Page of Pentacles, the page to the Knight. The Knight takes action. And then the Tower, crazy. Aquarius, Scorpio energy, very strong. And Aries, it's Mars. Very strong in this reading. Interesting that we started with the Star. The Star comes after the Tower, but here we have the Tower in the outcome. So it's like, oh, I see. It's like you got a preview back before. And that's what that Star is. Because then the Star appears again, and then the Tower to get to it. Interesting. Okay. Because the Fool, the new beginning. Power, please. The Nine of Swords. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. This is stress and anxiety. It could be fear. We keep seeing the devil, right? But it's like there's this Five of Cups. And then the Tower. There's a fear of doing, again, believing in this again. Remember that redo energy? And it's like, I don't want that to happen again. Okay, one more on the Nine of Swords. Now, many of you, you could be already involved in a situation. For some of you, King and Queen of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. It could already be like a business partnership. There definitely could be money involved. It could involve a payout to get out of, but either way, I think you have your eyes set on a different future here. Whether that's to do with something you want to create for your life. King and Queen of Pentacles are incredibly stable energies. So we have this Queen of Cups here. Nine of Swords. Judgment. Isn't that interesting? Sagittarius and Scorpio energy. And look at that rising up, that soul of hers rising up out of the body. Judgment is a decision whether or not to leave the past in the past, the shadows of the past, to rise up into a new possibility. Judgment of what you're capable of. Judgment, please. Neptune energy. the new possibilities, the dream. It is, I mean, Neptune, like I said, it can be very difficult to decipher what's coming through to you. And the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Cups can be like in your sleep. You could be waking up with messages in the middle of the night. Whatever it is, that lover's energy is pulling at you. And it started in the past with the star. Let me grab the wild unknown for a minute. Why is the King and Queen of Pentacles in the challenge? The Eight of Pentacles, yeah, and then the Four again. So 2 4 of Pentacles makes the 8. For a lot of you, it can be the decision to commit yourself to building something very stable with another person here. And then for some of you, that can be a pre-existing situation to do with work, maybe. Let's do the Three of Cups. That'll help. Three of Cups. Good judgment. Now that's a perfect example of what I was talking about. Look at that phoenix rising up out of the ashes of the past. These are all these little blackbirds down here. All the experiences, everything that the past, Pluto down there. And then we have the bird of freedom, Sagittarius energy. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Exactly, the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, air energy. That's why you're anxious. This is all of those lessons, right? If you look closely in the amazing wild unknown, every one of those swords has a different hilt, meaning different experiences, all tied together in that same red cord of memory. And that dark shadow behind them. Look at these two together. I can't even. Three of Swords. Relax the hold of darkness. Put what you've been through into, because now you have a unique ability to understand it. And that's what's required. Capricorn energy with the devil, there's Saturn. That was the lesson. Relax the hold of darkness. This is the darkness. I'm not saying that Capricorn or the devil is dark at all. It's actually getting free. Because now you know, now you've seen. And you've been through what that heartbreak was for you. And there's the freedom. Could have something to do with your ability to create, to be prosperous. The Empress, the Knight of Swords, and the Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Venus energy with the Empress. Beautiful. And then the Two of Cups. Under that, the Five of Cups. I'll stop, but we started with the Five of Cups. So that's who you're longing for. Take it back to April of last year. That could tie in for a lot of you. Okay, let's get you a couple from the blue deck. This reading went long even for me, but like I said, it was pretty experimental. I hope it was helpful in some way, but we're certainly getting that redo energy. What this is saying is that this isn't the past because you've done that work, right? You've earned it. Walking away. One more look over her shoulder and then she's out of there. Door to personal healing and happiness. Another one. We have the star a couple of times. That's, oh, I was going to say that's healing. And look what we have. Healer of the ages. There's a couple of ways I take this card personally. What I take that is that the ages, right? What we've been through, the time that we've spent is what gives us the ability to offer that sense of empathy to the collective. We have Aquarius energy all over here. Now, for some of you though, this situation, we saw the Two of Cups a couple of times, this Queen of Cups energy too. This relationship, this partnership is actually going, remember I said the reason why? It's actually the reason why. And it's got a lot of healing behind it. Goddess of the moon. Unbelievable. Very strong Cancerian energy coming through. Mars in Cancer right now. Let's have one more. The temple path. That is beautiful. This is about following that deep knowing. And it's guided. That's why the star keeps coming out. This is what you... Oh my gosh. Just as I said, I was about to say, this is what you were meant for. This is why. Rush hour outside. There's lots of traffic. Okay, let's go to the talisman. Consider these to be like power words you can take away from the reading with you if they resonate, of course. Like the whole reading. They tend to just sort of sum it up with words you can use later to remind yourself. Okay. We have divine guidance. Deep knowing. We have let go. Cancer energy. Good luck. And the elixir of life. Relax the hold of darkness. Let go. Let's do one more. I feel like there's one more in here. Cast away negativity. Oh. The Nine of Swords. Okay, well, how do I want to close this? I'm not going to do the Lover's Oracle today. I'm going to close it with a couple of cards from the moon deck here because we're between eclipses and we're talking about that eclipse in Aries, which is incredibly powerful. What do we have, please, for whoever needs this? Last quarter moon in Aquarius, right? Strong Aquarius. Reflect on your priorities. Part of the process. All that glitters. What are you willing to let go of? First quarter moon in Gemini. Speak your world into being. We have the Magician. Unbelievable. Let's do one more. Lots of air. Well, there's a lot of swords in this reading. First quarter moon in Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. And we also had good luck come out in the Oracle deck. Interesting. Okay, my friends, that's what I have for you. That redo energy. I think it's Pluto. It makes a lot of sense to me. Anyway, take it for what you will. I love you guys very much. Happy eclipse season. Happy new moon in Aries. Namaste, guys.